Hello and good morning. Here we are back with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We yesterday emptied out a camp full of cultists, minor cultists, that were hanging out in a Mithras temple. Which is a god from Roman times that is mostly interesting to Western audiences for its parallels to Christianity, while basically predating it a little bit. So there's that, and now we're supposed to tell our friends about it. So I guess that's what we will do. This is a little confusing. Hello, good morning, Ada. This may not be the path we were supposed to take, but okay. Hello, I'm looking for an entrance or an exit. Or both, possibly. This looks promising. Oh, someone's cleaned away the bodies. Cutscene.
It's worth knocking on a few doors, that's all I'm saying.
Trigger wasn't killed because you want to plant a few trees and fix a few roofs in Lunden.
Looks less like a meal for crows in here.
Hey, what? You bring good findings, I hope?
A few sheets of vellum, notes between members of a secret society. The Order of the Ancients, they're called.
Order of the Ancients? Doesn't sound any bells in this head. What's the purpose?
That would take some time to explain, but know this, that I am here to kill them. In London, it seems the compass is the head. The arrow and the leech are his hands.
Pet names and secret orders. What a crock. Do we know anything we can act on?
The arrow is a Dane who has seen his share of battle. His name suggests that he's an archer.
I bet my knuckles he's the one sowing discord among the Danes that shelter in Lunden.
If it were me, I'd hide among my ranks, surrounded by other fighting men.
The arrow has orders from the compass to recruit soldiers at a market in the west.
I know the very place.
The leech has need of flesh. Been looking for thralls, though I can't say why.
We found a number of dead down by the quays lately, but not thralls alone. Some of the missing we find again in several places, cut to pieces.
Good lord, Erke.
The compass is a mystery. He's mentioned often, but there's little to go on.
Said he was a Frankish captain, did you? To find him, we'd have to mark the ships that came and went along the Thames.
Captains are a transient sort. It may be he's far away, keeping quiet.
That may be, but would he scream if we cut off his hands?
Oh, you've a filthy mind for strategy.
We kill the arrow and the leech, then sit back and wait. Let the compass come to us. Let's not waste any more time. We will find the arrow and the leech. Killing both should drag the compass back into port. Stowe, I'll catch you at the Western Market.
Count on it.
And I'll make for the quays. There's another few bodies there to fish out of the muck.
It could be the leech is back at work.
God be with us, friends. Go in his name, and be protected by him.
The pause screen clip with the Star Trek Online visuals is the one that makes it appear as if you're saying you have AV setup issues. Replace it, perhaps? But at least it used all new clips and lasted almost perfectly. Yeah, I'll have to see. I'm a bit sad right now that basically that's my only Star Trek Online clip right now. So I should probably go back to my archives and see if I can find any Star Trek Online things that are worth clipping. And put them into the rotation then. Alright. So now we have the choice of 2 locations. So as usual, that's what they do. They give you a choice. So we can either go with Erke to investigate the murders, or with Stowe to track down the arrow. I guess let's try Erke for now. Alright, I guess we can fast travel there. Ooh, that's nice. Detection: when detected by an enemy, time will slow down to give you a brief window to react, fight, or flee. Easy, stream some more Star Trek Online and clip the heck out of it. That's an option as well, yeah. Power, rare runes. There's a very rare and powerful type of rune that can only be equipped on gear of high quality. I guess those are the orthogonal parallelogram runes, of which we only had one. That reminds me, where are we? We've upgraded 3, so I guess we probably don't have... Yeah, we don't have any tungsten ingots right now. And we have a few runes that have this shape, and those won't fit into other items. This one has only one such slot. What else is new here? Don't show me this marker. It's so annoying to have it everywhere. Alright, I think, no, there was one more. Oh, there's the Legionnaire for Octavian. Of course. And that's a Viking. Let's see who you are. Ambicioso.
If not now,
not someone I know. Read. Propaganda. A stink worse than garum. Did you smell that, Londoners? It's the filth of moral decay, and it's worse than garum. Only you can help clean it up. Report any suspicious activity to Trigger's office and keep your own nose clean. Alright. There he is. Ooh, cutscene again.
Is this the leech's work?
Yeah. New corpses every day.
If you are the only target for your people's fear, then they will turn on you.
They're scared. If I am to be redeemed, I owe them the leech.
How many bodies is that now?
A score have been uncovered. Definitely the leech's work.
How can you be sure?
Their eyes are scooped out. Black, empty caverns. Same as Trigger's gods.
There must be hundreds of people passing by here each day. Anyone see them dumped?
It's the riverbank, Vinner. Every crooked dealing in this city goes through here. Heard from Stowe yet? About the arrow?
The leech is my focus just now. Does something worry you?
Ah, no, just checking up on the old Sparrowheart.
You two are close, like brothers.
Yeah. Close like brothers, you could say.
Erke! Tell me it wasn't her!
It wasn't your daughter, dear Kida. Take a breath.
Oh, thank Freya. I have such a fear I will find her down here. She works errands for a smith who sends her to these docks. Most times at night. I cannot stand it.
She works for a blacksmith. Do you know where?
Never told me his name, nor where he hammers. Tight-lipped about everything, this stubborn girl. I haven't seen her in 2 days, and feared the worst. In London, you must always fear the worst.
What sort of job did she have?
Ran errands and the like. She would make a delivery, trade it for hack silver, and scurry back to her smithy.
Do you know the name of the man?
Name. But I wish I did. I would box his ears and harvest his nuts.
Anything else you remember?
I had a neighbor once tell me she saw Regna, lingering for a time under the London Bridge. Worried me sick hearing that.
That's a good place to start. Thank you, Gida.
I like.
Lady Smith, a missing child. It's a lead with some weight.
London Bridge after sundown. It's worth a look.
Good. I'll hang about here and keep things calm. And Eivor, don't drop your guard around these docks.
Do I look like one who could?
Do I look like one who could?
That's the healer's song, isn't it? She's always singing it when she comes by.
Another one's washed up. Out of the way! Let the man work.
I like, or I find it interesting that they say ja and nein. Like in German, ja, nein for yes and no. Oh, there's another one. That's not nice. No, we can't even. Can't pick up that body. Can't do nothing. Interesting. That's still the same. Oops, that's the wrong one. You, I mean.
Give me a bench, Eivor.
Yes,
If not
okay.
now,
You're
then
still the
next
same.
time.
Alright. Oh, I guess they took us that way because London Bridge is that way. That, you know, sort of makes sense. Are we full on arrows now? Yeah. So I guess we'll have to figure out what button changing time of day was.
What see you, old friend?
Okay. Something over there. So let us head there and see if we can find a nice little hiding spot to observe things from. Are they making retching sounds? What's that about? Alright. That looks like a good location. And now, is it this button? Let's see. Meditate. Hide behind the crate. Okay. That works too. Such a little inconspicuous Viking behind that tiny crate. No.
Best follow him. See where this leads. Can't this clod walk any faster?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm actually glad he's not that much faster, because it took me quite a while to get over here. And luckily he walks along the... Whoops.
Careful now. Is this the place, or... no, just meandering?
That looks like a place.
I should be cautious around here.
Goes into the garrison. Where did he go? Is he there? Find and interrogate the blacksmith. Okay.
Show me.
Guess he's somewhere here. Okay. Okay, that's a well-guarded area. We need a blacksmith's shop. No, wrong
Stretch
button.
your wings, Sunan.
You guys over there didn't see a thing. Alright. Not sure if I want to try and take out anyone here, or if this is more of a quiet occasion. Let's see if we can maybe... anything...
What do you see, Sunan?
Does anything look blacksmith-like? This building has a few shields, this building has a few horses. I guess he doesn't have a blacksmith shop. Does he? Oops. Didn't expect someone to be peeing down there. It might have been the wrong hay bale, actually. I wanted to jump into that one over there. Oh, there seems to be something over there. How much did you have to drink? Well, I guess you're not close enough to take out. You not either. Interesting. But okay, that was the peeing person, so that's good. This is tense, a tense moment. All right. Who is spotting me there? Nobody, it seems good. Is this? Yeah. So let's see if there's some side entrance or something we can use. Oops. That roof looks good. Yep. Okay, so now we just have to get on the roof before anyone really realizes we're there. Can't believe that worked.
You got the purse I'm owed? Huh? Who the fuck are you?
I'm not asking questions. I'm a friend. I'm a member of the Order. Ooh. Do we want to dare that one? Or do we just want to play on charisma? We don't want to really start a battle. I'm not sure. Can we pull off the lie? Let's try it. Or is it? I don't know.
I'm with the Order. The Leech bade me give you a message.
The Order? Huh? I'd need more testament than your word alone.
It's not your place to demand things of the Order.
Maybe not. But I'm not saying shit until I hear something that makes me believe you are who you claim.
Father of Understanding was in that writing he had.
May the Father of Understanding guide you.
Right. So what's the Order miffed about? I'm doing my duty.
I'm here about the Leech. The tools you made were unsound.
That's not my doing. Sister Frida Smith is breaking them faster than I can smith.
Breaking them on the bodies of the poor and unwell. We warned her against such evil.
No, that's not a fair read on her work. She never kills without reason.
That's for us to decide. Where is she now?
Where she always is. The old forum in the shade of the giant's wall.
Thank you, brother. And keep this to yourself.
Tool order to be delivered to the forum. 2 sets of pliers, 15 scalpels, 1 surgical saw, 1 set abdominal forceps, and 2 sets surgical scissors. Okay. Ooh, okay, so that's Sister Brightsmith or whatever her name was. Alright. I think we're done here. And I'm sure he won't mind us secretly leaving via the ceiling like before. Doo-doo-doo. I wonder whether it's a common thing for their contacts to sneak out windows. Alright, so which way do we go? I think probably fastest to go up there. And then just nip out. Okay, yes. Could have even used that as an entrance. Interesting. Alright. That was easy. Oops. Must be quite an area around this area. Are we already there?
Aid me. Be my eyes.
No. 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 Somewhere here. I guess in that big market square. Find and assassinate the leech. I guess the leech makes sense if it's a, physician of some sort. Actually, I never realized that's of course the same person, the cult member we were looking for. That was using medical implements and the leech, because of course leeches were a common medical tool at the time. Or at least they were a medical tool. I don't know how much of that is actually just, like, oh, that's the most horrific.
If they see me, this will get messy.
Silly thing they did. And how much of it is,
This is where the leech dissects her prey.
Alright. How to find a leech. Anyway, so that means a common thing. So the question is, was it really, just a regular common practice? And they're very ill-advised at that. Or was it, just the most ridiculous practice that we look at today and say, like, what the hell were they thinking? They're just making things worse. So I guess to find the leech, we gotta go somewhere down there. Oh, I can actually go into a building there. Oh, I think we're in the right place from the conversations. Mommy, my stomach hurts. The good sister will help. But for the gift of your eyes, I thank you. That doesn't sound good.
I thank you, Ragnar.
They will attack on sight here.
Sign of the one we bore. So fascinating. So beautiful.
Uh-oh.
You have advanced the cause of our kind.
Whoops. Quick. Get up. Get back up. Yes. How do I get over there? But it doesn't sound promising that we can still find Ragnar. Damn it, she walked out. We were too slow. Ah, okay, and she is the healer that's always singing.
And with you, child.
Ah, okay, she walks back. So
A young girl. Her eyes have been removed.
uh-oh. So I don't think Ragnar made it.
One more, that's all. I'm nearly finished.
That's enough.
Oh, it's you.
For all the dead we collect, dear sister, you and I are equals.
Quite a charnel house. I'd lost count of how many. I suppose I've been greedy in my research, but not for lack of care. The Ancient Ones, the Arbiters, they built us out of simple pieces. So easy to break, so difficult to mend. There must be an improvement. We should be stronger, faster, smarter. I could have fixed us. I could have made us better.
We are blood and bone and spirit, Frida Swith. Perfect as we are.
You've such beautiful eyes. Finish it, would you?
Ooh. Okay, she got a creepier ending than most so far.
Her eyes have been removed. I have a feeling this is the missing Ragnar.
A young girl of 16, peasant, Ragnar she was named. Yep. One eye blue, the other green, imprint of the Ancient Ones. What secrets will I find locked in this prison of meat and bone? So she thought that heterochromia had something to do with ancients. I mean, I guess in this universe that could be a lore. Or it could just be, you know, her seeing things where there are none. We don't know. So let's be a little bit greedy and try if we can at least loot this one without being caught, and get our arrow back. Wonderful. Anything else here that we want to look at? I guess not. There are keys and other things here. Oops. That's not quite as far down as I wanted to go. But that works. Oh. Another nice chest to loot. Alright. I wonder... probably not, but like it would be interesting if you could stay here and you know, like if find out whether they would discover things. Like, I mean, I could stay here and wait, but I don't think it's worth waiting it because I mean, we've seen how the NPCs discover something. Usually it's just they go there, say, "Oh, I will avenge you," and then go back, you know, like the same canned response. So that's about at most what I expect to be happening. But I don't think there's any mechanic that kind of goes, "Oh yeah, we found our dead doctor." Not like in, you know, Dishonored or something, where you basically, you know, where basically the people get twitchier and twitchier in town the more people you kill. Why am I crouching? Can anyone tell me why I'm crouching? Yes, you in the front row. Because you're stupid? Yes, that is totally possible. Sorry. Sorry. I thought this was the stairs. Don't mind me. My foot just needed a little bit of wine. Alright, this is where we are, okay. Here. It seems like it's not inside the villa. Yeah, of course, it's at the harbor. Okay. Well then, let's go back to the harbor. Ooh, who are you?
It is strength you require.
Looks fancy.
Look no further. I'll be here should you call again.
Nobody I know. probably just... He doesn't look too happy. I think he's doing with his foot with a night detail.
The leech is bled out. And did you catch a name?
A nun, name of Fredeswith.
What? The good sister? That can't be right. She was a saint. A healer and a... Gods! That brick fits this week's wall of shit.
Brick of shit sounds about right. She was making dog meat out of Rekna when I found her.
Fuck!
You knew her?
She saved me. Mended the broken leg. Thought I'd lose it. But not with Frideswith. You wouldn't know it was ever broken. The sands will run backwards now. Without her, we'll return to balancing humors.
All of that for this. Secrets of the human form. How she saved lives.
And how she ended them. It might be the ravings of a mad woman.
Not every problem has a clean solution.
True. Very true. I've built my name selling the heart fix. I'll live with it.
This was her fix. All her ideas and discoveries written here. Ill-gotten gains.
I have a mind to burn that bloody tome. Is that the right call?
That's the question that you get asked at school or in ethics class, you know. What do? Do you benefit from unethical experiments, you know, after you stop them or whatever, or not? Burn it, keep it. What do we do? I think, you know, the thing is, you know, like he is right, you know, like she made progress. And but you know, like the wrong way. But she did make progress, and I think the Vikings so far seem to be, to me, to be pragmatic enough. You know, as Eivor said, you know, like she would give the sweets to her children. If it, you know, even if they came from a bad person, and that's basically what this is.
It has cures for everything. From boils to broken bones. It's worth keeping. We fight wars to save those we love, and pay in blood for what we win. This book, this is your good sister's battlefield, her kingdom.
You may be right. We can't return the dead to life, but their sacrifice can mean something. If you need me, I'll be at St. Paul's searching for something on the compass. Thanks for all this, Broca.
There's a Mass Effect 1 mission that basically has a similar decision to make. It just reminded me of that. I don't know if I don't want to go into more detail because, you know, spoilers for an unrelated game. I sometimes accidentally do it, but I don't really want to, you know. Such dramatic music. Okay. And now we have Mr. Sexy Pants to go. I'll talk to Stowe about an arrow. Let's go and talk to a man about an arrow. Is that, yeah, it's still the fancy tricked out guy. So it's sad that they're like this Jomsviking idea sounded so fun and so cool originally. It sounded so fun in how they advertised it, and now it's the character builder for those is basically you can push a randomize button and at some point, you know, just stop pushing the button when you think, yeah, that character looks nice enough. So it's not a full character builder. And you can oh, there seems to be a hole. That window is blocked by this. Interesting. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Anyone? I'm stuck!
Yes, yes. Oh, just there. And then forgot where I was. Okay, never mind. I got so distracted by this mission.
I'm stuck!
Anyway, it's an interesting quandary, you know, like, of course, if you take the findings from such an occasion, you know, and benefit from them, then the question, of course, is, why did it break? Okay, I guess that damages our health.
I'm stuck!
So that's probably what we... If I hadn't carefully carried this stuff over because the vases look so nice, I probably would have triggered those when I moved this thing. I guess we can just place this here. So glad they they recorded several voice messages. Can you imagine how annoying this mission would be to do this puzzle with him only saying the one voice line, like, "Anyone? I'm stuck." Seriously?
Anyone? I'm stuck!
Yes, yes, I get it. They could have at least recorded a help or... Okay, you're doing the MC Hammer foot shuffle instead of picking this up. Fine.
Anyone? I'm stuck!
Oh, that was the wrong one, wasn't it? We don't need it to go here because it... Oh, well, maybe we need something else to go here later. But really, we should have just removed these here.
I'm stuck!
I kind of like that this is... Ugh.
Anyone? I'm stuck!
Yeah, I don't like this either. Oh. This is the wrong one, really. I wonder, like, what decides whether these break. If it's the kind of floor, or if it's too many in one spot.
I'm stuck!
Yes, yes, I get it.
Anyone? I'm stuck!
Okay, why can't I move this one more?
Anyone? I'm stuck!
Hello? This may be bugged. I think I got it into a state I shouldn't.
Anyone? I'm stuck!
I hate this one. Already. Yeah, I can't move it sideways. And it won't move.
Anyone? I'm stuck!
I'll go out for a second. Maybe I should go for a swim or something. Ah, luckily it has disappeared. Let's see if anything changes if we go back in. Maybe something resets.
Anyone? I'm stuck!
I think I'll leave here for now and hope that it'll reset over time, and then maybe I'll come back. I think this comes back. This shows up as a objective or something, right? Yep, okay. So we should be good. Why do people distrust me? I'm with the boss.
Eivor, welcome to the West Market.
A lawman like you could set folks on edge in a square like this. Why not wear a cloak?
Hide my face? Not a chance. It does the people good to see a lawman on the hunt. You and Erke found the identity of the leech.
Some holy healer. She was called Fridesvith. Had an appetite for eyes.
If this order can corrupt Lunden's favored saint, what hope do we have?
Any noise yet about the arrow and recruits?
I've heard whispers. Somewhere here, a man gives you a coin, and this coin grants you entry to a contest run by the Arrow's men.
Which man? I see too many here.
He's good at blending in. I haven't spotted him yet today.
I'll sniff around. You stay back.
Eivor, what was your impression of Erke?
Erke has been a great help. Why doubt him now?
Ah, forgive me. My latest thoughts have been restless. I've been a reeve for so long. Fighting for God's justice. I shed my earthly attachments for his great plans.
But you couldn't shed Erke and his friendship.
No. No, I'm not sure I could.
It's good to talk. Unburden your soul. Clears the mind and lifts the weight off the chest.
Yes, indeed. And thank you for listening.
I should find one of these coins soon. Will you be around?
I'll return to St. Paul's just down the road. Godspeed, Eivor.
We're alone again. No. Says somebody gives you a coin. See any coins or people that look like they have coins? So what do we... This guy looks like he's guarding something. A lady? No. What's this? Are you tired of feeling like a minority in your own city? Do you long for purpose and camaraderie? Join our ranks and we will provide an arrow of direction and strength. Ah. So that's what an arrow looks like.
Begone! You reek of someplace else.
I have a bow and a body ready to serve the arrow. So why turn away the sharpest eye in Britain?
I haven't come this far trusting any old sellsword on the street. How do I know you art some rat looking to sink our ship?
I would never. A common friend sent me.
Did he now? And what's our common friend's name?
Was Egbert? Well, Stowe, I think, is not the right choice, right? So let's try for Egbert and see.
It was Egbert of East Anglia.
Yeah, right. Begone, before I kick your teeth in.
Wrong answer. I need to find another way to get the coin. Some of these men have pocketed their coin already. But which? Ignore your purses, lads.
Can we pickpocket someone? I don't know. I guess we can assassinate them. Why would mentioning Stowe? Work. I'm kind of worried now that if Stowe... You know, if Stowe would have worked... Oh, I guess we would have had to find someone else. So probably none of these answers was correct. Would be my guess. And we would have probably found somewhere So I wonder.
What don't he?
Marion Seya.
So the question is, can we sneak up on you, or are we picking a fight then? And if we are, will we get a prompt to pickpocket? No. I don't even know how one would pickpocket in this game. Is that a skill that I haven't unlocked yet? Maybe there should have been a third option and you haven't read the hint yet. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Of course, the question now is... can we still see that third option or not? I don't quite know. Let's look at the skill tree. Is there anything... Wait, let's first look at the key bindings. Options. Controls. I guess that one would be it. And see if there is pickpocket somewhere. Actions, wheel, torch, cloak, fishing, call, mount, meditate. It doesn't really seem like pickpocket was a setting here. Okay. So I guess it's just a prompt when it applies or something. Because I thought I'd seen a skill mention. We unlocked a skill that said, you know, pickpocket gives you extra adrenaline. So let's see, heavy dual wield, dual swap. Adrenaline upgrade, light bow combo, terror, battlefield cremation, perfect attack, warrior takedown, sprint bash, arrow volley, adrenaline fiend, parry damage, so I don't see pickpocketing anywhere here. Oh, but I guess, where were we? Didn't we want to go for some headshot thing? Ah, here. Okay, we already did that one. Attack damage. And range critical chance. Okay, we want more range critical chance. What's this? More range damage sounds good as well. More assassination might be good. What else do we have? We have more health. Charge shot we already have. Else. Stealth, melee, range resistance, health, light attack damage. This so we see at least what's in there. Alright, oh, what's this? Light shield, oh. I really don't know. What these people. Hello, game? Oh, okay. I landed on the wrong computer, I guess. And I think I might have accidentally closed a window here. Okay. Alright. Sorry about that. So how do we get coins from people? This is a bit annoying, since control is the key you press to walk slowly. If I turn while walking slowly, I use the feature of my mouse to switch to the other computer by accident. I might have to find another way to do this. The problem is I don't think I can just kill these people behind him.
Calciamenta mihi mundus est satis raro sedate, sint piorum ambulare in atvis domus Dei.
I like that he is... I don't like that he is, that there's someone who looks quite like a priest who is drunk. Oh, there is something there. Oh, that's just an opportunity to blend in. That didn't work out. Come on, you can do it. I guess that might work. seriously? You're all after me now? Alright, I think... Oh, someone still knows where I am. Alright, I think now they don't remember that I'm here. The question is... Is this dead guy? You don't have a coin. No idea. Like what I can do mechanically in this game here that will let me get a coin. Like, do I need to unlock some skill? Be careful that the windows you click accidentally are not OBS. Yeah, that would be unfortunate. I think I'll do a quick check online about whether there is pickpocketing in the game. Just so I'm not... You stop. Luckily you're muted. Assassin's Creed Valhalla pickpocket. There's a skill for pickpocketing undetected, so I'm assuming there's pickpocketing, but I have no idea where you learn it. Yes, exactly. Okay. Okay, so it seems... Here it seems you can't just magically pickpocket when you need it. It said you had to pickpocket for a main quest, so I guess... But I still don't know how. Well, let's see if we can... What did you do? It's funny that you go to this hidden spot and
There we go.
okay, I guess that
It
works.
is engraved with an image of the London Colosseum.
Okay, I guess that works as well. So I guess we'd have to have found... If you notice, the guys who spotted us when we walked past them, one of them said, "Do you have a coin?" So my guess is that's how we're supposed to find out. So, I guess that's how you're supposed to find one. If one of them says, yeah, I have it, don't talk about it, or whatever they would have said, you know, then maybe you would have been able to somehow get closer. But like, that's such a mechanic that just came out of left field, and I have no idea. Like, I would have expected there to have been a mission by now. Yeah, yell if you want to. I would have expected there to be, you know, some tutorial or something saying this is how you do it. And I don't think there has, you know, there's no gate or anything to ensure that you've got the tutorial so far. If you killed one after the other to steal a coin, then you can join. But there's nobody left in that arrow club anymore. Yeah. Alright, so I guess we need to go over there. But I guess... Come on. I want my arrow back. Come on. So inconsiderate of these people to not give me my arrow back. Oh, I'm actually on 30. How the heck am I on 30 arrows? If there's still one stuck in him. Did I accidentally pick one up that's stuck in a wall or something? Oh, St. Paul's Cathedral, I think. We already looted that. What's over there? Who are you? Oh, okay, that's Stowe. I guess he's waiting there for us to finish. Would have been kind of nice if they'd given him a voice line like, so have you, you know, like that we could talk with him if we got near. I wonder if the arrows challenge will by any chance be basically that goal shooting that we've been doing with Petra and during the Christmas event. The Yule event, sorry. That would be kinda... That's the exit, I think. So how do we get up there? Let's see. That might work. Idea. I guess we can climb further up. And go down again. Yes, okay. So I guess they're having a contest there. Yeah, I guess it's some sort of target shooting thing.
What's your business? Shooting or watching?
You're looking for skilled archers, and now you've found one.
This contest is private. Invitation only.
Your men are handing out these coins like they were on fire. Is this enough?
It's enough to keep us talking. But I'll want to see how well you handle that bow before you go any further.
Is that
Want a
Petra's
trial
voice?
round to test your eye?
She sounds like her voice sounds... I mean, I guess they reuse some for the NPCs. Do I want to practice? Let me
I'll
practice
shoot
first.
a practice round, just to be sure.
Go ahead then. They're all set up.
Just so we know how the game goes.
How was that?
You've got quite an eagle eye on you.
Okay, then I guess we're ready.
I don't
Okay,
have time
wait.
for this. Maybe later.
Why bother me at all then?
Okay, just to be sure. Oh wait, wrong button. This one is what I wanted.
I've had enough practice. Let's begin.
A real fanatic you are. Get ready. It's a simple contest here. Hit all targets true before the sand runs down. Here's a new competitor, a Norse from the northern wilds of Mercia. And our current reigning champion, Sayed. All right, take your mark. Hook set. Arrows not. Fire. Odin spear. Did you see that? Incredible. We are happy. Eivor leads to victory.
Okay, that worked. Good.
That's deadly aim you have.
The one in the middle was a bit surprising.
Well shot. You have earned your place at the Arrow's side today. He'll be eager to meet you. Hold yourself to the Imperial Arch and speak with our man, Hussa. Recite the phrase. May the Father of Understanding guide us. And he'll know it's you.
Oh, okay, that's the phrase we used earlier with the blacksmith. All right. So I guess we're off to meet Husa. Who are you? Oh, that's one of the kids. Okay. So, okay, that was a nice little diversion. I wonder, like, how they... Like, we've had this bow shooting game a couple of times now. And I wonder, like, how they decided to add that in. Like, if it was just a common pastime of Vikings, and so they said, okay, let's do it with Petra, and then they realized, oh, well, if we have the mechanic in there, you know, other people said, hey, in that mission, we could put a contest in before that to make the mission a little longer and things like that, and then they said, hey, we need a Yule event, and went and, you know, said, okay, yeah, we can have bow shooting as one of the fun diversions there as well, or, you know, like, where it came from. My usual question, I guess, you know, I want to know, like, why did they put this in the game, and how did it come about to be used so much? I mean, you know, it makes sense that if you add a new mechanic and new assets, that you might use it for several things, you know, so people don't just learn it from once, but especially this bow shooting is kind of... I guess, since you have a what is it? Wolf class, I think, is the hunter class that we're speccing into for all the ranged things. So I guess they wanted to have some things that, you know, let the ranged people, you know, do more ranged combat, even out of combat. Just, which makes sense, you know, like if I like to stealth, so if there are some missions that let me be sneaky about something, then hey, I'll do that, unless I screw up like I did earlier.
Are you Husa?
Yeah? And who's asking?
May the Father of Understanding guide us.
And may the Mother of Wisdom give us strength. You're to stand just there, look your best when the arrow comes forth, and keep still.
I wonder why Eivor didn't give a fake name or something. You don't shoot Christmas arrows?
Brethren, good people of London, we have had a hard week. Cowardly invaders stole into our governor's home and robbed him of his life.
That was you.
Trigger, my friends, my leaders, slaughtered like a dog by outsiders, by the enemy. Do we expect his reeves to guide us? Some arsed halfwits let Trigger die. They think we're safe. But our governor knew. He confided in me his real plans to protect London.
In the middle of the market square. What, you don't shoot Christmas arrows? Didn't you know that Christmas tree needles are symbolic arrows? It's such a typical Yule tradition. That's a cool idea. Ooh, he gets a really... They get really fancy scenes.
Arrows knocked! It's a hard thing to raise the rats of a city into warriors. Hook, set!
You raised no one. You only trapped them in their cowering fear.
Draw strings! First wave fire! No, I gave these men order. I gave them purpose. I showed them their common enemy. Anchor strings! Second wave fire! I was arrow for their rage. Without a foe to consume, we devour ourselves.
He speaks true. A man without an enemy defeats himself.
Justify all you want. You're just a king killer and a coward.
Mighty High Horse, you'd do the same if you were me. Aim and fire!
It's a cute end for him, I like that. They were really creative with that scene. I hope it keeps going like that. That would actually... I find this scene always a little drawn out. Why are you all attacking me? I just killed your boss. That's all. Can I ask you another question? Really? I just killed like 6 of your friends? You want me to kill you as well? I guess we can do that. Right, this is Totally normal. They're just sleeping, you know, they were drunk in the marketplace. But you know, Christmas Arrows, it's a really good story. I love it, thank you. You know, someone should make something out of this. You know, it sounds like the kind of thing that would happen in Guild Wars 2. You know, like that would be a tradition there. Like, I guess the Asura are really scientists, but you know, someone as crazy as they are, you know, would just have that custom.
You're unharmed. Praise be to God.
It will take more than a few lads with newly polished bows to fell me.
The arrow was a boy.
A man with a boy's brain called Avgus.
Avgus? That can't be right.
I could return with his head on a spear if you'd like to see.
No. You've no reason to lie. Yet Avgos, my old friend, had no cause to murder. He saw Lunden as a kiln of rage. To harden the softness of its younger men. Perhaps I ignored in him what I hoped not to see. Ambition, greed, anger.
From one man, such hatred is easy to spot. But from many, it's a fog that fills the room.
Power. Men will claw for it and cling to it at the cost of everything.
Very true, and it's cold comfort when glory has the taste of your family's blood. 2 targets down, only the compass remains. If it were my men killed, I would be on my way to London now.
The compass will come, and we must be ready. Expecting the worst.
I don't want anyone catching me off guard. Could we take the fight to him?
There may be a way. Let's regroup in the church when you've had time to rest, Broga.
I wonder... Like, so, I guess if we had said Stowe, he'd probably...
The good sister was murdered, and where were your guards? You hear me, Urke? Her blood's on you! It's a ruse, I tell you! It's them that killed Trigil and shifted the blame!
So yeah, that's what I was afraid would be going on. That we're now... you know, that these 2 prominent people being killed will now reflect badly on us. Oh god. Yeah, but so I think we might have actually gotten through if we had used Stowe's name. But I think they were, you know, I don't think we need a 3rd name, because he just said, oh yeah, Avgar was his friend. So probably the other guy we talked to, if we had said Stowe, he would have said, oh, that's a friend of the boss's. Although I'm still a bit worried that Stowe will turn out to be the compass or something like that.
Some surly guests outside.
Eivor, we didn't see you enter.
Yeah, now I have another suspicion that it's, so either one of them is with the cult and, you know, now trying to convince the other one that we are the bad guy and that we just, you know, killed their friends. Or they're both, you know, and it's just like basically anyone instead of, besides, what was the name, Trigger? And anyone beside, basically like all his friends and supporters were actually building up to, you know, taking over from him. And he was surrounded by enemies already. You know, and maybe when Eivor arrived, then maybe, you know, they thought, hey, there's a good scapegoat that we can blame everything on and look good, you know, where we say, hey, we found this person here, and you know, and she will find any evidence that we need to destroy or something like that.
Have you stepped out today? There's a strange feeling brewing in the streets.
I've heard the shouts. The deaths of Avgos and Friswith have angered many.
Let's hope the compass numbers among the offended.
I don't doubt it. But are we ready for him?
Let's go over all that's happened up till now.
Trigger was killed and dismembered by men who worked for him. Men he trusted. Avgos, the Arrow. Our brother in arms. He wanted Lunden for the Order.
And the good sister. That's another knife to the back. London's saint. Sister Friswith. She was the leech and the city was her meat market. Your bishop has already issued an apology on behalf of the church.
It's time we focused on the compass. Gather all we know and lay it out, plain as day.
Aye.
We let fly the feather dart, squeezed raven ink from a loathsome leech. Now we wait, wolf-tensed, for the master of the River Rip to return and revenge his shaken warriors.
Well, well. This one's got the gift of Odin's meat.
What's on your mind, Stowe?
We know the Compass is a sailor. A captain from Francia.
And he won't like hearing he's got a leak in his hull, so to speak. With the death of the leech and the arrow, you want to hit back. But we can't know how or when.
Apart from this, the man's invisible. Coward, if you ask me.
Burn in your hell, you bloody reeves!
We're pinned in!
Is there another way out?
The tower! There's an open window they can't have reached!
I'll go up. You find a way out.
Eivor! Make for the steeple!
Where is the steeple? Where the heck? I should have paid more attention in there, I guess.
Burns!
So where is the steeple on this building? It's over there. Oh no, it's here. Okay. That looks like an opening. Or not. Oh, in there, exactly. Now I know. Okay, go sideways. Come on, come on. Yes, you can do it. Where was up there, I guess. So now I know what all this climbing stuff was for. No. Fire again. Yes, that was what I wanted. The house is already slightly on fire. Okay, that was the attack from the river, I guess. Is this the Great Fire of London? No, wait, that was a different one. Vichelin. Oh, Okay, so I guess I'll have to open the blocked door. Of course she goes off in the opposite direction of where the closest enemy is. And skips over the guy attacking me.
Do take your time, though. We may throw a picnic.
Let's go!
Fresh air.
That's the lot of them!
Let's get clear of this inferno.
I had a view of the city from the roof. There is a new flotilla in the harbor.
The compass.
Bastard. If we commandeered the springholds that Avgos built, we could rain a cloud of arrows on the invaders.
I'd sooner take the flank and go around this army to the boats. If we cut the head off this beast, the Order's men will be easy to rout.
Let's focus on the compass. Kill him and the battle's won.
I can lead you straight to him. Through the reeds, like Stowe's Moses. Whatever happens, this ends tonight.
May God guide our swords and cover our backs.
Don't be reckless, little boys.
We'll see you when it's done, Erke. Count on it.
Little voice.
I know the path straight to the docks. We'll be able to flank them.
Yes, I like that. But that's also nice, you know, that, I mean, that many games do that.
Let's go.
I can't get free! Help!
Okay. Well, I guess we're not going to do the can't get free mission. Where are you? There somewhere, okay. So this is a sort of raid, I guess, but not really.
This way! The docks are burning! Take this path. You'll avoid most attention. I'll give you cover when I can.
Take this path. I guess jump over there. Where are we even supposed to go? I guess we can bring up the order screen. Okay, I guess we can go back here and read all their stories in a moment. Okay.
Have a look, Sunan.
Are you the compass? He's standing there and laughing, so that's a good candidate. Yep, I would say that's you. very few people home.
So this is the compass. Large enough to ford an ocean.
You stole it from Francia. Will none of you lift a finger to aid your master?
Nope. Not needed. There it is. So there are 3 criminals and 2 of them were his friend role model. Yeah, it kind of sounds suspicious, but
Burning to ash what you cannot possess. That's a child's way out.
To hell with London. Boudica was right to burn it to the ground. It's a brick-and-mortar shithouse. So bright and beautiful, set aflame. Will you rule over these cinders now? Yoke its people to your whims and needs?
You do have power here. Power you have earned.
I have finished my work in London. That's enough.
London is only a beginning. My order reaches further than your tiny boats can take you. Never forget, Trigger, my old friend. Man at sea may have gold and glory, but he is always a slave to the churning tides. We are that tide.
Gorm Kjotveson. I knew it. Yeah. They have a quick fire department. We stick one knife in a guy and suddenly the city is no longer burning. Interesting. Are we at the end of the map? Or is it just... I guess they don't want us to return... You know, to go farther out here because they didn't build that map. Yeah, okay. So I guess they, you know, they built a special map for this attack that we got transitioned into. And it ends here because they're going like, you'll be going in the other way anyway. And I mean, it makes sense for, you know, for Odyssey as a simulation. You know she went right back. And so they can save themselves from having to integrate this map much more and load much more, and can then make it a bigger model, you know, and maybe avoid a load screen or something. Because, you know, this game is really good. Like, if you look at when you launch the game or when you restore a save, that's, you know, like a fresh load, where it needs to load the entire game. That takes quite a while. But otherwise, like scene changes or you just, you know, moving across the scenery. It's amazing how little, you actually, you know, how little time you actually spend on loading Like, it really feels like one gigantic map. So my guess is that I probably should have... No, it doesn't look like I could have used a wider arc. So I guess you were just expected to take a little bit of damage. I guess that works then. So let's go back there. Oh, and there's actually happy people there. I guess once they see you actually kill an attacker, they're not quite as angry anymore. I think they forgot to despawn one of the enemies. That's a little funny. That, like, these people were cheering and there were still two or three. And I guess he got, yeah, those got switched to we're defeated. Okay.
There you are. The drinker we must thank for our good fortune.
How do I look? Half drowned and half burned?
Not half of either. And far better for the blood on your blade.
The compass is dead. London is yours to wreck or rebuild.
We will rebuild. We'll strengthen the walls, reunite families, and likely use less wood, more stone.
Ill-timed, Erke. I'd like a quiet moment to pray.
We'll take it together.
Until our next meeting, I trust you will heed my call if I should send for you.
You came to Lunden in search of a friend, Eivor. You found two.
Aye, Broga. And you deserve this. A silver ring for your raven perch. It was Trigger's before he gifted it to me. I say you've earned the right to wear it now.
I am touched, Erke. I'll carry it with pride.
What is he throwing? This looks like a Monty Python scene. Oh, he was just, I think he was just throwing big rocks. But yeah, I guess this is about the era and the style of building and city, like you had for you had in the Holy Grail.
Calls me back to Randi. Best tell her the good news.
Yeah, so now they've they loaded us into a different map, which is again the full map. But because they knew, you know, there would be a huge battle with lots of enemies. I guess when we came out of the church or something, they probably put us on a special map that was basically London and the harbor. So a lot smaller. And you know, like that's why we have boss fight arenas. Because, you know, like in a game you have two kind of modes. You have the regular open world mode where basically you have your character and whatever is around that character, and the character can move like comparatively is expected to move comparatively slowly. And then you have boss fights where you're constantly moving back and forth, and there's lots and lots of enemies. And like in the open world mode, usually there's relatively few enemies. But in the boss fights, you want lots of enemies or complex enemies, things like that. And And so what you do is you lock people into a smaller map, so you can load the map at once, and the player running back and forth on that map, you know, doesn't spend time on loading, and then you can spend the free CPU time in there to control all these enemies and throw them at you, and, you know, like, simulate the physics of, you know, things you break on that map, so you can make a much more complex, much more interesting map. Oh, there's actually a quiver for arrows attached to these. I hadn't noticed that. That's actually a cool detail. Okay, let's see if our puzzle has respawned now. And we can save this dude that is trapped in here. Yeah, okay. That looks different.
Anyone? I'm stuck!
So remember that we had opened part of it. That's good. So let's try this again, and I'm thinking that because we seem to have somehow, like there was some of this disgusting smelling stuff, whatever it is, in these vases, was on the floor there, and maybe that's what kept us from, you know, removing them. And these are in different positions, so I think they're randomizing these a little bit. Yeah, I'm on my way, don't worry.
Barry's balls, that's foul.
Okay, whatever that was.
Anyone? I'm stuck!
Okay, I guess it reset. But at least there's nothing stuck there. So maybe we're lucky and we can move it all the way? No.
Anyone? I'm stuck!
Ah, but now we can get close enough to move it a little bit. Maybe we can now control it. There seems to still be something stuck here. Not you, I mean the... Oh great, now we can't move that at all. Also, maybe that was our problem. And now we can't interact with this anymore. Great. Okay, so this mission is totally bugged. Because this thing always gets stuck. Sorry. Maybe we can just go over? No. Oh, what's this? Garum shipping plant. Laborers needed. We have need of hale men and women for our warehouse. Each laborer will be compensated with 50 silver a week and 2 free bottles of garum. What the heck is this garum? We know that it smells horribly. Ah, no, we can go in.
I hear you. What is wrong?
Thank the gods! I wanted to get the new shipment done early, and accidentally boxed myself in.
If that is all, I can get you out.
Not so fast. Avoid breaking the jars. The sauce is delicious, but smells like a sun-soaked fish barge.
Oh, is this, what's it called? The Swedish stuff.
And don't break any. The smell is awful.
What is it called? Okay, I still can't get him out. Oh, maybe this one helps? No, that one was blocking the entrance, right? So garum is some sort of fish sauce. Oh, there was a prompt there. And now it works. Seriously? So was that the one vase that was too close? So do they have a huge collision box? Oh, and now I need to remove these as well. So I wonder if this is like supposed to be something like surströmming or something like that. You know, like some disgusting fish. Yeah, it seems like they have a huge collision box. I don't know if you saw that, but the one on the right of me there just got pushed sideways a little bit. So I guess they, you know, they want to make it easy for you to accidentally break one, topple one over. And so, see, they make them kind of unstable and easy to accidentally. Okay, so now let's, oh, we can't go from here, so let's go here, go back up here, and maybe we can push it from inside.
Oh, thank the gods, you've unblocked me.
Thank the gods you've unblocked me? That sounds like something you hear from an urologist. Or at a urologist's. So strumming. Yeah. I'm. I got it. It took me a moment. Exactly. Yeah. Or what was the other one? Gamelost or something? I think they might be a little surprised about us.
Just a few broken. But the smell will be here for weeks. Still, you have my thanks.
Well, I guess we got the XP for the mission. I wonder if you do this without breaking any, will it, you know, will it be, will you get something extra, like, I don't know, silver or something? Alright, so I guess we're done in London. At least as far as this main story quest is concerned. So I guess let's go back north and report to our friend Ranvi. Yep. So yeah, I mean, now you see like what a full load does, because we're not progressively moving over so that it can just load little parts while we walk. But rather it has to, you know, like load a completely separate area, so it has to kick out all the old stuff and get the new stuff from disk. So this takes a bit of a while. Probably not as long as it would take for us to ride back or take the boat back. But still. This is kind of the moment where I wish... I mean, this area where you can run around is a clever way of doing it, but of course it would feel more natural if they had, you know, like, I mean, in this game, I don't think there are that many carriages and things, but like if they had, you know, like some transitional animations, like, you know, your character riding past somewhere. Alright, let's see if there's a friend.
Well met, Eivor.
Oh, there's actually no Viking here right now. I mean, I guess that we know that the... Ah, okay. Yeah, so they move around here. That's actually nice. We've had this Viking suggested a couple of times.
Glory and Valhalla.
And I think this is the wrong message for when you cancel out that she says, raid with me. Alright, let's see. Let's go up there and find out what the verdict on our actions now is.
Evil.
That reminds me, yeah, the feast buff is gone, so we should probably do that later. Again. Just to make our combat a little cheesier.
Pleasure to see you, Eivor.
London is with us, and cleansed of the Order.
Good. Hytham will be pleased.
I should speak with Hytham.
So the question is, should we really speak with Hytham, or is this how you get a bug?
I want to see the alliance
map, I guess. Eligible. Is there anything else? Nottinghamshire, Yorkshire is not even, and York are not even options. Okay, so it's Nottinghamshire, which is 250, which is still a little too high for us. But Shropshire would work. And the ones down here we've already done. So that's basically the only one.
So
should do it now.
Traveled to Shropshire.
He has, into a difficult situation. The Shire has been mired in a long war with Rhodri, King of the Britons. Ceolbert hopes to negotiate a peace with the Britons of the West. A difficult task for one so green.
I hope your tutelage has prepared him well.
Indeed. But I think it best if you supervise these talks. If Ceolbert can make this work, we will gain a valuable alliance.
Alright.
I'll make my way to Shropshire.
I am relieved. He and Ivar should be in Quatford just now. You will find it along the Effen Hafun River.
If Ivar is with him, I'll certainly be needed.
True.
Hey there, how are you?
So, cattle farm, grain farm, and fall farm expansions. Play Sister Fritzwit's Leech Book. Oh. I didn't know we kept that. I thought we gave it to Stowe.
I should talk to Hytham about my next targets.
Well, let's look at the order screen. And see. So, Sister Friedeswit, Prost, Friedswit, the late Priost. I don't even know how I should pronounce this. When Friedswit was a girl, she watched her sister fall off a horse and break her spine. She could see that while her sister's soul and mind were very much intact, her body was broken. This sparked an interest in anatomy that would follow her like the shadow of the fire that wiped out her entire family. Whoops. Not a happy person then. Palatinus Avgos, the Arrow. Avgos Spearhand, or the Arrow, mastered projectiles at a young age. While his village was peaceful, his heroes were warriors. He ran away to go a Viking with the great heathen army, and rose through its ranks, yet never high enough for his aspirations. He joined the Order on the offer of a power not even Odin can give. Vichelin. The Compass. Swim or be swept away. Vichelin was a career sailor, the kind of man pledged to king and country. The offer of the Order came at a soiree, where he was given the kind of stability that the warring Frankian could not challenge. Gold, power, and all the ships he so desired. Clues gathered. Hytham may have more information. Magister Gorm, the Keel. Gorm grew up under the heel and the shadow of Kjotve the Cruel. His father passed down the rigor of the Order and taught Gorm the lessons of a harsh love. Pain, humiliation, excuse me. Pain, humiliation, endurance. With the loss of his father, Gorm taught himself pitiless hatred. Note found on the Leech. To the Leech, I caution all in the Order. I have met the Norse called Eivor. Be wary should you cross paths. Note found on the Arrow. I have news of the Keel. I will tell you all next time we meet, but know this. The Keel's thirst for travel knows no bounds. Note found on the Compass. I sincerely hope your work goes well in London, friend. I dearly wish to see England, but I have work elsewhere. I will regale you with my adventures before long. The Keel has, as befits his name, outfitted a ship of astounding power with a crew to match. Only a fool would cross swords with the Keel now. My friend, your work is much valued. One day our Order will number more than the hairs on my beard. The Keel. Note found on the axe. My dear axe, you asked me to send news. It seems the Keel has left Riga Fylke after all these years. I know not where, but stand assured the Keel will extend the power of the Order. Yeah, that's the thing we had early on. So yeah, of course it made sense that it was him, because for one, his outline looked suspiciously, and you could kind of see the face in the shadow. We've met him before. And then that he left Riga Fylke was basically, okay, he was like nearby where we were. We have 3 clues about the Vice. It resides in Jorvikshire. The Vice lives close to a waterfall. Dice players abound in the Vice's village. Okay, that's that one. The Vice is calling attention to himself again, dear Vellum. No good can come from his overzealousness. The next time you visit Jorvikshire, speak to him clearly. Okay, so we haven't met any of these. We haven't... Investigate the festival near Henge Farm. Oh yeah, that was the Stonehenge thing. And what do we have? The rake wears black. The rake is a woman. For the sickle. I showed you a list of names to the rake. She confirms they are all our enemies. She encourages you to be as cruel as you like. The oil. Alright, so I guess we have to talk to Hytham about that. So let's see. Just as long as we don't turn in any medallions right now.
The Order has been purged from London. For now, they hold no power there.
That is good news. And I would celebrate, but for the fact that Jorvik now suffers from the same infestation.
Jorvik is a city under Norse control. I should have less problem finding allies here.
That is a hopeful way of seeing it. Speak to Ranvi when you wish to travel there. I have something here for you. Tidings that may displease you.
Tell me.
You remember Kjotve's son, Gorm? He has since taken his father's place in the Order.
Interesting. Is Gorm here in England? Is he another blotch on our list?
He is one of our targets, yes. But he is not in England. He is further west, in fact. A land called Vinland, discovered centuries ago by an Irish sailor called Brendan. The Order of the Ancients has some recent fascination with Vinland, but I cannot say what it might be.
Let me find out for you, after I silence Gorm.
Vinland is far away, according to my source. It may take weeks to find him after a long and perilous journey.
There is no danger that would cow me, Hytham. I'll speak with Ranvi and arrange passage.
Was there something else?
Alright, I have to go.
I have to go.
Then go in peace.
Okay, that avoided the issue, I hope. Okay, so now we have a clue about the firebrand, apparently. The firebrand is in Jorvik. Letter from poor soldier of Christ. The firebrand, a religious fanatic bent on destruction. They must die so that the rest of us may live. A poor fellow soldier of Christ. Okay. The needle is in Jorvik. The needle, a notorious coin clipper and black marketeer. They must die so that the rest of us may live. That's, by the way, a funny thing. Coin clipper. Back then, you know, they made the coins, and of course there was a little bit of imprecision there, but, you know, they weighed them so they had the right weight. And what some people would do is cut off little bits, like, off the edge of a coin. So it was just slightly smaller. And then use the excess gold or silver, you know, and sell it again. And that's why many coins these days still have these ridges at the edges on the outside. Like on the edge, have these little, this rifling, you know, these lines. Because that means if you cut off the silver or scratch off silver, that rifling goes away. So you can tell that this coin has had, you know, has been devalued, basically. And I guess that's what a coin clipper is. The vault is in Jorvik. The vault, a well-placed man, clever and elusive. They must die. Yeah. It's all the same. I'm a little bit sad that these letter excerpts are all they didn't put more effort into these letters, you know, that they just said, okay, we got one letter that exposes 3 more of them. But I guess we'll be in York then soon. This looks suspiciously like we will have another nun, like Sister Friedwid, what was her name? Alright, so let's see what we can talk to Randvi about in this situation. Whether she has anything to contribute. And I think that's where we will end the stream then.
I want to see the Alliance map.
Have you spoke with Hytham about Vinland?
I have.
Good. I have marked it on the map with a bit of guesswork as to its location. Let me know when you wish to leave.
Okay. Okay, so we could pick York now. It's 190 though, and these are 130. This is 130. So I guess we'll go for Shropshire first, because it's been lying around for a while. And I guess we can go to Vinland, which is 160. So I guess the supposed order is first Shropshire, then Vinland, and then York. Jorvik. Okay, cool. Didn't know that this table was so large. That's cool. Anything else on the table? No. Okay, cool. So that's what we can do next time. Okay. So, thank you very much for being here. And I just realized that I made a mistake in editing the video yesterday, the schedule. So remember, we're back on the regular schedule now, so that means usually 7 to 10 on weekdays. So today is Friday, so that was the last stream for this week. See you again on Monday, where we will be heading to Shropshire. And I don't know, we might also dip into London a bit to collect some of the riches there. To be able to upgrade our gear some more. We shall see, or maybe I might even do that off stream or something. I don't know yet. Depends on if I really feel like I want to play more of this game over the weekend, or if I have enough other things to do. So thank you for watching, and see you again on Monday. Bye bye.